Moses on the banks of the river. He said, Pharaoh, you've got to let my people go. You don't want me to have to tell you this 10 times over. The Nile ain't just a river, you know. So we all remember Pharaoh, he just wouldn't do it. So the plagues came upon Egypt one by one. His heart was hard and the other 9 just couldn't move it. So the last was the worst, the death of the firstborn sons. Oh, but the Lord, he gave to Moses a word for the people. He said their firstborn sons would live to see another day. Put the blood of a lamb on the doorway and death will pass right over. That night all the children of Israel prayed. And they prayed, Lord, let your judgment pass over us. Lord, let your love hover near. Don't let your sweet mercy pass over us. Let this blood cover over us here.
There was lots of legal requirements that were being met in Yeshua's death. The crucifixion and then the resurrection and ascension. And there's a cunning factor in that Hasatan would never have killed Yeshua or arranged for him to die had he known that what was going to be accomplished by that death. Hasatan never would have crucified Yeshua. He would never have let that happen had he known. And so there had to be an element of kind of secrecy or covertness as to what was really going on. And so the fact that a lot of the Jews didn't get it or didn't understand it, and even a lot of the 12 disciples weren't really getting it. Sometimes we think that, they're just knuckleheads or whatever, but some of it was just a necessary, covert aspect to the whole thing to accomplish this fulfillment of Passover without Hasatan really understanding, what was going on.
Did you eat the bitter herbs? Or horseradish? Last night we celebrated Pesach down on the flat there in our RV, and at the base of this mountain that kind of feels like maybe the Mount Sinai or Mount Sinai, however you say that. So today's the first day of Unleavened Bread, High Shabbat. We're going to celebrate by climbing up and talking to Papa. I'd like to beseech him to show us the pillar of cloud and where it is going next. His provision to fall upon this little family in the form of protection, taking care of our hearts. Just speak into our lives, Papa, with good people, not mean people. Got anything to say, Isaac? Okay. to do a little study on the Feast of Unleavened Bread and to practice doing that. And I have made matzah for tonight over the fire in the desert. I made matzah for us to nosh on while we study. But as you can see, no one is here.
Writing my story till the end with mercy's pen. Only you. What kind of king would choose to wear a crown that bleeds and scars to win my heart? What kind of love
offering for first fruits to Yahuwah and Yahshua and the rock who are sitting in the audience.
What you said? The rise.
Yahshua is the first fruit that we read in 1 Corinthians 15:23. And who do we believe that Yahshua waved in front of Yehovah on this day?
144,100.
The 144,000. What kind of fruits do we wave in front of Yehovah?
Lips.
Huh?
Carrots.
Carrots? Okay, so we go and we take some of our vegetables that are just popping up that we could eat, and we take them and we wave them and sing a song to Yehovah. Yes, but what is more important to him?
Oh,
what
I know.
kind of fruit? What kind of fruit is more important? What?
Barley.
Words. The fruit of our lips. What we
are-
say and what we do. How we treat each other. So what is the fruit of the Spirit?
That's pretty
Name
much.
them. What are the fruits of the Spirit?
Love.
Love, joy, peace, patience,
Kindness, and goodness.
Self-control,
Faithfulness.
gentleness, and self-control. Okay, we're going to look at the timeline now. So, what is this?
First month of the year.
Aviv is the first month of Yehovah's year. When did Yeshua actually die? Did he die on Good Friday?
No.
No. Did he raise on Sunday morning?
Nope.
No. Okay.
He answered, "A wicked and adulterous generation asks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth."
3 days and 3 nights. So, we have a clue. How do we find Pesach? What day of the month is it?
It's on the Advent 14th on Wednesday.
It's going to be on the 14th. So, Pesach is always on the 14th day of the month, right?
Yes.
So here we have Pesach. And Pesach is a work day. It's when they slaughtered all the lambs. He had his last meal. And then he cleansed
He didn't have breakfast.
his house of leaven. Remember, he gets rid of Judas that night. So he's going to die in the 9th hour. And so then Yeshua is here. He's put into the grave here. And he stays in the grave how long? 1. Let's count. 2. 3 days. How many nights? There's 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, right? And this is when he resurrects. Right before the end of Shabbat. Okay, so you have day 1, day 2, day 3, night 1, night 2, night 3, and he resurrects right here at the very end of Shabbat, right before the sun sets. So then we have Pesach. What's the next day after Pesach? What's the 15th?
Wednesday.
In the feast, what is it in the feast? It's unleavened bread.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a high Shabbat?
No.
Yes. Yes. Unleavened bread goes for how many days?
7.
7 days. We start counting with Pesach?
No.
We start counting here
Yeah.
with our first high Shabbat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this will be the last high day as well unleavened bread. So it's a high Shabbat. All right, now we have to discuss, when did the ladies come to the tomb? The ladies come to put spices on Yahshua on Sunday morning, really, really early, right at daybreak, right?
Yeah.
Right, like at 4 o'clock in the morning or so. And then what did they see? What did they find?
Nothing.
He wasn't there. He was gone, right? And so where had he not been yet?
His father.
He hadn't been to the Father. He hadn't done the first fruit weight offering yet. That's why he said, Mary, don't touch me. Miriam, don't hug me. Because he hadn't been there yet. Then what does he do? He shows up that night, right? For dinner with the disciples. And then he disappears.
So this is the week when Yahshua died, but the week's not the same every feast year. But you have to remember that First Fruits is always on Sunday. And so you're going to have a different number of days in between Pesach and First Fruits, depending on the year. So you won't always have 3 days and 3 nights between the two.
Was the Last Supper the actual Passover meal? Was it the Seder?
No.
Okay, so why couldn't it have been the Seder? Yahshua said he wasn't actually going to eat the Pesach with them until he came back. So, and he had to clean his house of leaven before the feast. He also had to be the Pesach. That was the fulfillment of the feast, was for him to actually be the lamb. Let's act it out now.
No.
Oh, okay. So, the Pesach Seder is over. We had a meal for 5 hours. We had wonderful company. We've had a fabulous time. And now we've had just a little too much to drink. And so we are coloring. Right? Yep. We don't want to go to bed.
On my face, and I'm overwhelmed by the reality that the
We're gonna hike up there and get a view and kind of imagine what it would be like to have been at the camp where Israel was camped below the mountain of Yahshua, and there's millions of people. It's kind of trippy. And last night the moon was really cold. Last night and the night before, as it came up over that mountain, it kind of made it glow and looked like Papa was actually right there.
to understand.